Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am just kind of in the middle of making dinner for tonight, and my daughter Sia has requested for a specific egg fried rice which is garlicky and lots of spring onions, and I'm going to be serving it with a beautiful vegetarian Manchurian which is made with a mix of vegetables, and it's just so easy to put together. The whole meal is ready in minutes. If you have leftover rice, it's even quicker because you don't have to make fresh rice, but I didn't have any leftover rice, so I've just made some plain basmati rice which I'm going to be using for the egg fried rice. So let's get cooking. Before that, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button. So first I'm going to put together the Manchurian, and what I'm going to do is quickly get my vegetables together in the first place. So you could use a mix of vegetables, but one of the main things that is always used is a cabbage, and I'm just using a white cabbage really, and I am adding some leeks. You don't have to add this, and one carrot and one green pepper. Now I know green pepper's flavor is very different to normal pepper, but in this it's not the strongest flavor in it, but it just does add something to it, so I would use a green pepper if possible. So I'm going to peel and chop all of this very finely first. So you only really need half a cabbage. One cabbage is a lot. And one of the easiest ways to finely chop cabbage for something like this is to grate it. And these chunky pieces, I'm just going to chop it up in a second once I've grated this bit. So this way you'll get really fine cabbage. And I'm going to use the same grater for the carrot as well. And now the capsicum and the leek. So the best way to do the leek is I'm just gonna slice it into four and give it a good rinse to get rid of all the mud in there. And the last bit is the green pepper. So that's all the vegetables we need. Now I'm going to add all the flavoring. The first thing to add in terms of flavor is a big piece of ginger, and I'm going to finely grate this one. I'm going to add a teaspoon of white pepper, teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of chili powder. Just give it a mix. It is quite a lot. You can just half the cabbage as well, because if it's too much, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use as much as I want with the sauce. The rest we can just eat it as snacks, so I'll just put it in the fridge and then eat it in the next few days as little vegetable snacks. So the mix is ready. Now you can't just add this straight into the oil, so I'm just heating some sunflower oil to fry them. That's not how it's going to work, because there's no binding into it. So you can use some corn flour. I've got some corn flour here, or you could use some potato starch. So today I'm going to be making this with the potato starch because it's the same kind of starch. I really want to try it with the potato starch, so I'm using a good 5 tablespoons, quite a lot, to ensure that my oil is not going to get destroyed and this is not going to go everywhere. I've added 5 tablespoons of potato starch. You can use corn flour as well, which is cornstarch. Actually, I'm going to make it 7. You can feel it getting sticky, and that's what we need basically to bind this mixture together to make the Manchurian, make them into ball shape. Oh look, there's so much liquid coming out. So what I'm going to do is get a ball, bind it. There it is. Don't make the balls too big, because then when you cook them, they won't cook from the inside, so you want it cooked through and through. And one of the ways to do that is make just like lime size balls. So while the oil is heating, make the most of the time you have and prepare these. So I remember mentioning this to you before some video, I can't remember which one, that when you are making things like these balls to fry, any vadas, any pakoras, if you have any doubt, koftas, any those kind of things, your oil is hot, always put in one to see if it's going to burst. If it is, it's best to check, because if you add all of them together, say 8 or 9 or 10, they all burst. So you're going to waste all that mixture, plus you're going to waste the whole pan of oil, because you can't really use that then. I know this because I've done it before. Once, I've only done it once, and since then I always fry the one to test before I put the whole lot in. So my oil has got a bit of residue from yesterday's pakoras, but that's absolutely fine. Just going to try one of these. Ah, that's looking good. It's not breaking apart. And you want to fry this in on medium heat, not low, because it's going to absorb a lot of oil. And if it's too hot, it will cook from the outside and not from the inside. So you have to keep the temperature kind of stable. That makes sense. Just going to add them all. Just going to take 3 to 4 minutes to cook on all the sides. While this is going to take 4 to 5 minutes, I have shaped up the rest of the mixture. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect all the things I need for the actual gravy or the sauce or curry, whatever you want to call it. It's saving me time and getting all done together. So I'm just going to get all the things I need for that. These are looking pretty good. Look at that. I can totally eat them just like that, with some chili oil maybe, or mayo. I'm going to get these out and then going to get this in and then shape my last lot. So just going to get them out on some kitchen roll. So I have got this frying away quite nicely. I have got the one batch done and I have got the last batch shaped. I'm just clearing all this up and I'm going to clean up while that's cooking, so it's going to save me so much time. Now here I have got some vegetables. So I've got a bunch of spring onions, one red onion, a big piece of ginger, and a couple of fat garlic cloves. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chop it all up quite nicely. And I've also started picking things together for the egg fried rice. Don't forget, we have the rice to go with the Manchurian. So I'm going to chop this up while the last batch is going to go in. So there's really no science to how you chop it. If you can just chop it as finely, all of this stuff, as possible. And with the spring onions, I'm only just going to chop the whites first, because I want to keep the greens to put in once the onions are cooked. So I'm going to just take the... There isn't much green, is there? There's no point in just keeping this. Might as well add it to the whole lot. Keep your life simple. So there's our onion, it's the spring onions, and then I'm just going to grate these two things into this. So I've got the last batch in, I've chopped up the onions, ginger, garlic and stuff. Got a pan heating up nicely, and if you can avoid, don't snack on these. So well, the seasoning is spot on. It's so lovely. So this is lukewarm now because this is the first batch and it still tastes amazing. So these taste really good at room temperature. So these are quite great party snacks too. Just giving you tips. I'll tell you how many I made. Total of 35 Manchurian balls. So that's ready, cooking that mixture. Nice hot pan, and sunflower oil, rapeseed oil, peanut oil, whatever oil you want. A good 2 to 3 tablespoons of that goes in. Let it get nice and hot first. And once that is hot, I'm just going to add all of it actually. And give it maybe 5 to 6 minutes to soften up. Smells really lovely. It's been 6 minutes and you can actually see that the onions have softened up really well. The garlic ginger is cooked, and now I'm going to add all the lovely sauces. So a tablespoon of light soy sauce, a tablespoon of dark soy sauce, a good teaspoon of vinegar. I am literally using some malt vinegar right now that's I have in front of me. So a teaspoon of that. And now for the heat, it's completely your choice how hot you want it. I am going to add a tablespoon of sriracha because it's hot but it's not like going to burn too hot. and then a dash of water. 1, 2, 3, 4 tablespoons. A little bit of white or black pepper, a teaspoon or a half. Mix it up. I'm just going to add 1 more tablespoon of water. And now to just make it like thickening it up, I'm going to once again use potato starch. So I'm just going to add a tablespoon of potato starch and a tablespoon of water. You can do exact same thing, 2 tablespoons with cornstarch or corn flour. Slightly thicken. I don't want it too thick, just slightly thicken this mixture. Oh, yeah. I'm just going to add a splash more water to this. It's too thick. Yeah, what I want is like gloopy, like this. Not like a paste it was, and not runny like it was before. And now I know there were 35 Manchurian balls. You don't have to add all of them. Just add as many as you want to eat today. So you can make the sauce, you can make this and then put it together when you're ready to eat. I am actually going to do maybe 2 per person. Oh, no, that's not going to be enough, is it? There. That looks more like it. And then turn the heat off. And I'm going to very quickly make the egg fried rice. For the fried rice, I've got these really fat spring onions. You could use normal onion or you could use a shallot. I found these in the shops today and I love the taste of these, so that's what I'm going for. I am literally just going to keep the very little green that I have for sprinkling on top, but the rest I can chop up finely. And I've got good 4 to 5 garlic cloves, which I'm just going to grate. So I've got a wok here. It's really nice and hot. I'm just adding some peanut oil. Look, it's how hot it is. It's steaming straight away. A good glug of peanut oil. It's at least 4 to 5 teaspoons, I would say. Then the grated garlic goes in. That's it. Let it sizzle. Let it cook out a little bit. And now I'm going to add the onions. Oh, the gas is turned up. That's why I thought, why is the sizzling stopped? Right, I'm going to give this 2-3 minutes as well. Peanut oil, lots of garlic, and then the onions. And I'm just going to quickly whisk up 4 eggs because the rice is for 4 people. Here are the 4 eggs, just a little bit of salt, and then I can just beat it together while the onions are cooking nicely. You can add some chili as well if you like. I'm keeping away from chili in this egg fried rice today. Look, it's softened up beautifully. That's when the eggs go in. And I'm just gonna immediately stir it so the eggs are cooked. Oh God, again I did the same things. Turn the gas off. Just keep stirring so the egg cooks. And where you can see it's really nicely solidifying, that's when I'm going to add the rice. So I have got here just some freshly cooked rice and I'm just going to add enough for 4 people. So maybe 4 to 5 handfuls. I do it by hand so I can separate it. Even if it's like cold rice, if you do it by hand, kind of evens it out. It should be enough for 4. Yeah. Okay, and now I'm going to add the sauces. First, I've got half a teaspoon of salt. You can add a bit more, and half a teaspoon of white pepper. And I'm only just going to add the light soy sauce to this because I've already got the dark soy sauce in the Manchurian. I want to keep this nice and light. So a teaspoon of the light soy sauce. Just last couple of things, and really quite important is some MSG. So you can add up to half a teaspoon here, and I'm just gonna quickly chop the greens up and add it to the rice. Quick. And now a good mix. Oh, look at that. Glorious. This with the veg Manchurian is gonna be heaven. So here is your egg fried rice with veg Manchurian. Smells so good. I'm so hungry. One thing's for sure, the kids will be very happy. You can get the heat level really high in this, but I've kept it to a reasonable level so that the kids really enjoy it. It's hot. It's got very nice warmth to it, but not no like heat crazy. I'm gonna add some of my chili garlic oil on top of this for my plate before I finish it all. But however you serve it, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button, and I'll see you with another new recipe in 2 days. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.